Hey everyone, it's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for The Lion King, which came out in 1994 and is the highest grossing 2D animated movie of all time. 2 years prior, Aladdin held that title, but then this movie came in and just dominated the world. Like, this movie was a big phenomenon when it came out, and to this day I still can't quite figure out why, but let's just continue with the review. The movie opens up with the birth of the young prince, Simba, who is the son of Mufasa and Sarabe, the king and queen of the Pride Lands. All of the animals are very happy about this moment, including the animals that lions eat, like antelope. The only one who's not so happy about this, though, is Mufasa's brother and Simba's uncle, Scar. He was supposed to be the first in line to succeed the throne if Mufasa died, until that little hairball was born. So Scar hatches a plan with the hyenas who live in the elephant graveyard outside the boundaries of the kingdom to kill Mufasa and, if possible, Simba, to take over as king of Pride Rock. So within the past 2 weeks, I have reviewed Disney movies that have landed in my top 100 list. Beauty and the Beast at number 42, and Aladdin at number 23. The Lion King is also on my list of top 100 favorite movies of all time, but on the lower end, at 97 if you want to be more specific, which is a massive gap from Beauty and the Beast. So why is that? A lot of people cite to The Lion King as their favorite Disney animated movie, at least the people from my generation, and I just don't entirely get it. I think the main reason why I don't understand this film's popularity amongst the other Renaissance films is because everything that The Lion King does, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and even to an extent The Little Mermaid do better. That being said, I think The Lion King is a far better movie than The Little Mermaid. But when it comes to the main characters, and even the sidekicks, the comic relief, I just find them more interesting and more enjoyable in those latter two movies. And the songs are much better in those two movies. This film doesn't have songs written by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman because, you know, Howard Ashman unfortunately passed away, so this time we have Tim Rice, who filled in for Ashman's place on Aladdin, and Elton John. And they're really good songs, don't get me wrong, all of them are memorable. There's Circle of Life, there's I Just Can't Wait to Be King, there's Be Prepared, Hakuna Matata, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight. All of them really good songs, although I really have to take Can You Feel the Love Tonight to task, because out of all the songs that got nominated for Best Original Song at the Oscars, that was the one that won, and I wouldn't have given it the Oscar. In terms of the four iconic Renaissance films, each of them has their own romance song, and I think Can You Feel the Love Tonight is the weakest. A Whole New World, Beauty and the Beast, and even Kiss the Girl are much better and more memorable songs than this. But all that being said, despite me not understanding why this is the highest grossing 2D animated movie of all time, or why people just go nuts for this movie, I still love it. It's grand in scope, it's gorgeous to look at, the animation is just as spectacular as ever. Hans Zimmer's score is absolutely iconic, and I imagine for a lot of people in my generation, this is their first introduction to Hans Zimmer. It's also the only movie where he's won an Oscar for Best Original Score, and rightfully so. All the characters are still great, and the voice actors give it their all. Mufasa is voiced by James Earl Jones, and you just can't go wrong with James Earl Jones. His voice has that gravitas that makes him a presence every time he's on screen. And as Mufasa, he manages to be a really strict and ruling king, but he also shows a lot of care and love for his son. And that's one of the things that bugged me so much about his performance in the remake from 2 years ago. It's that in the remake, James Earl Jones sounded like he was just delivering trailer lines. I didn't feel much sympathy for him, and I wouldn't blame it on James Earl Jones so much as I would with the lack of expressions that those characters give. In this version, all the characters are very expressive, so it's easier to latch onto them. And going back to the songs, a reason why recreating these songs in the remake don't work, and this kind of goes for Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin as well, is because these movies take full advantage of the fact fact that they're animated. So the sequences are allowed to be as extravagant and over the top as possible. You could give these animals human-like characteristics and make them do human things, like Simba using his paws to grab a grub like a human would. In the remakes, because I'm hesitant to use the word live action in terms of the Lion King's case, it's just like watching a nature documentary with these songs awkwardly crammed into it, and it just so does not work. But getting back to the characters, Jonathan Taylor Thomas is really good as young Simba, and I even like Matthew Broderick's voice role in this movie as the older Simba. Jeremy Irons is just so sinister and slimy and evil as Scar, and he's pretty much a more realized version of what Shere Khan could have been in the animated Jungle Book. He's so fun to watch in terms of a villain. He's got some great lines, but he is so sinister, so unrelenting, and also so selfish that it ultimately results in his downfall. He's just a really great villain all around, and the way he's animated and designed, combined with Jeremy Irons' voice work, is perfection. Rowan Atkinson is good as Zazu. Even though Moira Kelly only voices Nala as an adult, I think she does a good job. And then Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella are great as Timon and Pumbaa. They come halfway into the movie, which I thought as the comic relief they'd come in a lot sooner, but they're still fun. I really love the way Timon is animated, and again, Nathan Lane's voice performance combined with the animation just makes it as great as it is. And the movie isn't afraid to be dark and mature. I mean, The Lion King is essentially Hamlet with lions. The big core of the movie is Simba's relationship with his father Mufasa, and how he's built up to be the king once Mufasa passes on. And all the father-son scenes are incredibly well done, and Mufasa's death is so well executed. He's trying to save Simba from the wildebeest stampede. Simba is safe on the rocks, and Mufasa's trying to climb up to safety, and you have Scar just leaning over him. And Scar basically claws into Mufasa's front paws, looks dead in his eyes and goes, "Long live the king," and just throws him off. And the terror you see in Mufasa's eyes is just excellent. Then when you see Simba find the dead body of his father, it's heartbreaking. Honestly, I think it's a more impactful death than the death of Bambi's mom, because there's no awkward transition into pretty birds. And I guess the father and son aspect is why so many people latch onto this movie and why it's the highest grossing 2D animated movie of all time. I guess the reason I didn't get it is because unfortunately, this was another movie that I didn't watch a whole lot growing up. I saw snippets of it, like on TV, but the first time I really got to see it from beginning to end was 10 years ago when it was re-released in 3D. And seeing it in a theater as an adult really put into context of how great the movie actually is. So despite the criticisms that I may have had about this movie, they're not really criticisms, they're just within comparison to movies like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, because at the end of the day, this rating sounds pointless considering that everyone has seen this movie, but if for some reason you haven't, get off your ass and go see it right now, or just see it again because it's so amazing. Again, it's so grand and spectacle, it's got some great characters, the score is memorable. There's just so much to love about The Lion King. And again, it might be in the lower end of my top 100 favorite movies list, but it's still in there, and it's still a masterpiece regardless. And there you go, that's my review for The Lion King, and I have finished talking about the 4 most iconic movies of the Disney Renaissance. So now it's all downhill from here, because next week we're going to be talking about the very controversial Pocahontas, which I got to admit, I may have said that it's all downhill from here, but in truth, I haven't seen this movie in a long time, like over 20 years, a long time. So I'm gonna be fair with Pocahontas when I see it. At the time I'm recording this review, I have not rewatched it, but I will be fair and very open-minded when watching it and reviewing it next week. But first, I want to know what you guys think about The Lion King. If you've seen it, what did you think? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. Hello everyone, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching my review for The Lion King. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, go check out my Twitch channel, and support me on Patreon. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.